What is up, MyFundedFutures traders? Today we're going to talk about OCO orders, or order cancels order orders, and the importance of these types of orders, especially if you're going to do stuff overnight, right? So when I say overnight, we're not talking about the 1 hour settlement, right? We're talking about just like while we're asleep. Okay, post settlement starts at 6 p.m., right? So market's closed from 5 to 6 if you're trading futures, and then it opens again, right? So there's that period where most humans are sleeping. If you're in the US, I guess, yeah, that's a true statement. Most people are asleep. I'm asleep most of the time. So how can we still trade? We see a setup and protect ourselves, right? You can't just have stops all over the place. One of the things I realized talking to people is that people don't understand the different types of orders that exist and all of the tools that are already there for you on most platforms. So I'm going to keep this platform independent for now, and you can look after watching this video how it is implemented in your broker. But nonetheless, it is an OCO order cancels order. Okay, there are a ton of different ways that this is implemented. It's pretty clear though if it's an OCO order. If your broker doesn't say it's an OCO order, then it's not an OCO order. It's really that simple. So we're going to screen share. I'm going to draw a chart really in Procreate, and I'll show you why OCO orders can be useful. If you're new here, my name is Forrest. I invest in stuff. I think that everybody should too. I'm a day trader. I have my own Discord as well. You can check out the link below. Of course, if you want to get another account with MyFundedFutures, use the link down below. I appreciate all of your support. Let's get into it. I'm going to draw this on the iPad just using Procreate. We're not going to do anything crazy here. What I'm going to start with, yeah. So let's just draw a simple price chart. Okay, so to do this, we'll have our prices on the right and our time on the bottom. Okay. And let's imagine that we have some squiggles of price like this. Okay, and then it comes down, then it comes up maybe. Okay, and it, comes down to here. Cool. So let's imagine that the market closed, okay, at this point in time. Okay, so we've got some. This is our trading view chart. Market is closed here. You wait your 1 hour for settlement. The market opens back up. And what you want to do is you want to take a long with a take profit, and you want to go to sleep. So you long, market opens. The market gaps up after the close, and it opens here. Okay. And it starts moving in this direction. And you want to TP at this relative high. So you've got a relative high up here. Okay. This is a relative high. All right, so you want to TP when it gets up there, but you also want to protect yourself. Now, there's a few ways that we could do this. The first one is, let's actually add a layer. We could put a sell stop, or sorry, not a sell stop. We could put a sell limit up here at this price. Okay, so we'll do a sell limit here, and let's say down somewhere lower, right off the screen, maybe like down, let's get some red in here. Right, so this will be our sell limit up here, and let's do a sell stop, which is going to be down here. Okay, that's your trade. That's the trade you want to do. You want to do this, but you want to go to sleep. You don't want to stay up all night, right? You think that this might take 6 hours. Okay. Now, if this is going to take 6 hours and it's post settlement, that means you're going to be up at least until, 1 a.m. It could be even longer than that. Let's say that you think it's going to take like, I don't know, 9 hours, right? And you don't want to wait till 3 a.m., right? So you get in right at 6 p.m., market opens post settlement, and you think this trade is going to work out, but it's going to take until 3 a.m. Now, if you're younger, somebody's newer, you might be like, well, I'll set an alarm, I'll wake up, but you don't need to do that. Okay, so there's a few elements here that I want to talk about. One is you don't need to stay awake all night to watch your trades, guys. There's really no reason to do that. You can 100% go to sleep, let them play out however you want. But what we're going to do is we're going to set up an OCO order for this trade instead, right? We're just going to allow us to go to sleep and not have to be up all night watching our trades. Us watching trades does not change the outcome, right? This is something really, really important that you'll understand as you've been trading. But watching a trade, I'll say that again, watching a trade does not change the outcome. It doesn't at all. in the slightest. So what you need to do is think about, okay, where does my thesis fail? If I truly think that my thesis fails, that my overnight long thesis is going to fail at, you know, this price down here, okay, then I'll do an OCO order where I still want my sell stop, right? I'm going to do a sell stop here, okay, and I want to cancel missing an N there, if my TP is hit. I'm going to do that while I sleep, okay? While I sleep. Okay, so if my TP is up here, this is my take profit. Okay, so this is called an OCO. This order cancels this order. See what I mean? See how simple that is? Okay, so there's a few different ways you can do that, right? Every broker is independent, but these two orders will be linked. The inverse is true as well, okay? So this take profit order, right, which is going to be, in this case, I'm long, right? So this is going to be a limit sell. Okay, cancel if my, okay, not my TP, but I want to cancel this if my sell stop is hit, right? And we'll just do that as sell stop, SS. It's a little suspect, but we'll call it sell stop. I think you guys get the point, right? So let's erase all of this stuff, okay? And I need a bigger eraser, I think. Give me like the Omega eraser. Yeah, get out of here, okay? So the reason this is important is because it's going to allow us ahead of time to set up a bracket order. You've probably heard of people talking about brackets. So let's go ahead and write that down, right? We could do bracket orders. And a bracket order is really what you should always be doing, okay? Now, a lot of people will do this mentally. If you're protected, right? This is a pretty good entry down here, right? This area down here is pretty good. It's the relative low of this fictional market that I've drawn, okay? So you're gonna be pretty protected down here. But imagine if instead of getting in down there, what if I had got in up here and I had the same trade thesis? We can see that the risk on these two trades, there's quite a big delta in between those, right? The risk is very, very different. And so I might, well, technically my trade needs to be the same, okay? Right, so I still need to have my stop down here and I still need to have my TP down here. So this is gonna be my stop, this is still gonna be my TP. But the risk is really, really different. So what I might do is I might move my stop up to, say, here, the 50 fib of this area here, and then what I'll do is a different bracket, right, another OCO order where I get in at my stop, okay? And I can layer these on top of each other, and what's really cool is going to allow me to protect myself. So let me show you what that looks like, okay? So my first trade, let me erase all of these things, okay? So I get in at the green arrow, and let's go down to layer 1 and erase this a little bit. So I get in at the green arrow, okay? This point here is my entry, and I want to have a stop here. Okay, so this is going to be my stop order. Okay, I have my TP. And what I want to do is re-enter here. Same trade. But what's gonna happen is I'm protecting myself against all of this drawdown here. Same trade, but I've eliminated some of the risk on the trade. Now, there's a few ways you could play this. I'm just giving this to you as a tool. A good trader, you're probably going to say, well, overall, long term, I probably don't even need to enter here. What I need to do is just be patient and trust that it's going to come down to my entry, right? Which is also the previous stop. That's possible. Ask yourself, how many times when you enter a trade, does it bounce off your stop? That's one of the primary pieces of advice that we give new traders in our Discord is put your entry where your stop is. Because your stop is your brain is identifying some work where the market's likely to go, but you were too anxious, you got in early, right? You weren't patient enough, you got in early, right? So try putting your entry where stop is. Let's say you get in though, and we're back in this overnight scenario where there's a lot of time And there's multiple possibilities, right? It could just start creeping up from this original entry, or you think it actually could come down, retest this low, and then bounce. Well, you can eliminate the drawdown in the middle here, and it's a really good strategy instead of just DCAing along the way, right? Because instead of doubling down on the dollars in this space here, which is what a lot of people would do, right? They would DCA entry here. You can just not take any of that drawdown, get stopped out, re-enter. If your scenario 2 hits, you re-enter down here, and then you can have another bracket order set up at that point, right? And this second bracket will have the exact same rules, right? So, well, your stop would be a little bit lower, right? So I'd have maybe a stop on my, let's use blue for the second bracket. So maybe my stop is down here and my TP2 is up here. And both of these cancel each other, right? So if my TP2 hits, it's going to cancel my stop. And if my stop hits, it's going to cancel my TP2. And this is how you can layer orders effectively and eliminate drawdown, which is really, really important. And you can do all of this while you're asleep. Now, how can I have a bracket set up that's not an OCO order? These are both the same thing, right? So let's just use NinjaTrader as an example. A lot of people use NinjaTrader. They call this an ATM strategy, which is an at the money strategy. So that just means when the market gets to your entry at the money, it's going to set up a bracket, and that bracket is an OCO order. Quant Tower has the ability, you can actually set up orders that aren't OCO orders, and you can link them. You can select them, and it'll say, do you want to link this limit to this other limit? And it becomes an OCO. So when one of them executes, it will cancel the other one. The order will cancel the order. TradingView lets you set up brackets. You have to use the order entry, form the long form order entry on TradingView, but you can do it as well. So you can have predefined brackets, which are, again, using NinjaTrader as an example, ATM strategies, or okay, you can set it up on the chart yourself. Nonetheless, using these is really, really important. The actual orders themselves don't have to be limits. So we'll wrap it up with this. I'm not going to break down every single type of order that exists out there, but this is really important to keep in mind. Okay, let's get rid of all of this. Okay, everything's gone. So what are the types of orders that we could put on our OCO? Well, this could be a market TP, and this could be a market stop. Now, why would I want to have a market take profit, right, versus a market stop? Well, the reason to do that is if you're in a fast market. Now, you're probably not going to do that overnight. The primary point I want to make here is that these don't have to be limit orders. Okay, they can be market orders. It could be any type of order in the bracket. And again, think of the tools that are in your tool belt and why you might want to execute them. If the market's going to rip through your price, okay, and I have a stop market, my TP then isn't just a market TP, right? This is a stop market order, right? Market flies through this, right? The bid-ask spread widens. Whenever we get to this area, I just want to get out. I want to lock in profits. Now, you're not guaranteed to get out at your stop, which is how market orders work. But if you're in a situation where the market is moving through an area very, very quickly, you can get out. One of the best times to use this is when you're actually using it as a stop, right? If the market is going against you very, very quickly. If you're somebody who's ever thinly traded markets, you'll know this to be true 100%, right? I have a background in trading options. A lot of options are thinly traded. If the market quickly moves, say the market does this, and then it fails, and it starts coming down here very, very quickly, right? Some crazy news event comes in. We get invaded by aliens. It's unprecedented news. Market falls off a cliff. If you don't have a market stop, you might not get filled, right? Again, the market, especially if you're in a live account, sim account is different, and a lot of you guys haven't experienced this, but if you're trading a real account, there has to be somebody on the other side of your order. There has to be. So just because we get to a price, if the auction completes at that price and there's no one else left, right? They fill Jim, Tom, Jerry, and Ellen's orders, and all of them match with each other, and you're the last person at that price, you might not get filled because there's nobody else left. The next price might be worse than yours and you're just stuck there because you're in a limit order. It's very, very possible. It happens all the time, okay? Especially in thinly traded markets. Now, it's not going to be a problem for you if you're trading during high volume periods, if you're trading something that's well traded like futures, but it can happen even with things that are highly traded in extreme market conditions. So just be aware of all the tools that are in your arsenal, guys. That was the point of this video, as well as just OCO orders in general. Wanted to make sure that you understood what was available to you. If you want more videos like this talking about different types of order types and how they could be useful, let me know down in the comments. Of course, join the MyFundedFutures Discord. We just did a giveaway, a 10 starter plus account, 50K, 10 50K starter plus accounts. Did a giveaway. I did that along with the mod team, so it was cool for me to do a giveaway. Also looking for more traders to interview, so you can either join me here at my studio. I built out this dope studio here in Miami. We have another chair. Would love to sit down and talk with you, or we could do another Zoom interview. Shout out to Vola or Volatility. Go check out his channel as well as the last video where I interviewed him. He's another MyFundedFutures trader. But yeah, that's it. Tons of gratitude. Good luck in the markets, guys. Attack the markets and trading with a professional and positive attitude, and you 100% can be successful. Check out my Discord if you want some accountability as well as more knowledge on how to be successful in the markets. Hope to see you in the next video. Peace.